Again, we're live, back with another one. How is everyone doing out there, folks? You see the screen today. Talking to a woman is like talking to the wall. And I don't mean every woman. No disrespect to the real ones out there. But I'm talking about talking to certain women today. It's like talking to the wall. And that is frustrating within itself. Then we have to put up with their issues. Another frustration. Then come the baggages. Another frustration. So in today's world, I guess dating is just pretty much frustrating. People have their own agenda, their own beliefs, their own ideas that they bring to the table. And that could commingle with other stuff that the other person brings to the table. And then y'all might not agree. And then it causes a quagmire. So to me, what I see today in relationships, try to gain a balance of trust before you put a ring on that finger. I'm talking to the male and female. Try to get a balance of trust with that person. Try to learn that person, even if it's in a short span. But try to learn that person. It's important to learn the person that you're aligning yourself with. Because the person that you're aligning yourself with is the same person that will represent you out there if need be. So you want to make sure that person is well equipped to take on that role. Folks, a lot of these marriages are failing today. I don't know why. My heart goes out to the ones who are suffering. We're talking about young Jeezy right now. Let's just get to the chase, cut to the chase, right? A man that tried to fit in with somebody's culture, and that person didn't receive him as the way she should because of their tyrant behavior that they inherit from the mother. Let's just say that. Because that's what Jeannie may disperse on her blogs. The tyrant behavior between her and her mom. It's very controlling. And for example, for a person that moved into my house as a mother-in-law, and then I also move in the brother-in-law, y'all are speaking different languages. I can't understand what y'all are saying, if you're talking about me or not. I'm referring to Jeezy. So of course I'm going to feel a certain type of way. And if I said to my wife, Maya, baby girl, we're married for a family, not to be separated by language or roots. Let's intertwine together. Young Jeezy dispersed that by traveling to Vietnam, putting on their traditional clothing, taking photographs, and he was very proud to do so. But Jeannie Mae, I should say, she didn't show her husband the same appreciation when it comes on to validating your marriage and going above and beyond just to please your spouse. Young Jeezy have done that. I saw where Jeannie Mae went down to Young Jeezy's family's home in Augusta, Georgia, and Jeannie Mae act like she wasn't used to mosquitoes, ants, and stuff like that. While Young Jeezy parents was just sitting there trying to be very hospitable to this woman from, where is she from again, in Asia? You know, in Asia, folks, let me tell you something. People have all type of amphibian running around in their backyard. Let's just be clear, in Asia. And then Jeannie Mae went to Augusta, Georgia, and act like she wasn't used to mosquitoes. I'm just showing you how when they come to America, their transition into the American way. And I found, I was bothered by that because Jesus' family was trying to be very hospitable to this woman. And she was acting so fake that it turns me off and it blows my mind. Because when Jesus went to her country, these people, some of them have coconut limbs for roofs. Some of them have mud houses. Some of them have just houses made out of sticks. And Jesus, for the millionaire he is, he didn't really think about his values as far as money is concerned. He thought about his family. What comes first? And he embraced his family tradition. In Vietnam, where Jeannie Mae is from. But Jeannie Mae have a mother with a mouth. And I could see where Jeannie Mae get it from. When it comes down to obedience, know when to talk versus know when to shut up. Jeannie Mae never had a man like Young Jeezy in her life. It seems like she was always the dictator to command the relationship, as she showed on The Real, how she treat her first husband, pretty much like footstool. You come to America, get Americanized, then you forget about your roots in certain ways, and act like your ish don't stink. Come on now. Are you serious? This man compromised with you, have a child with you, put a ring on your finger, and call you his wife. I'm hearing all type of things right now. There are rumors going around that Jeannie Mae had photos of Mario Lopez in her phone. Maybe erotic photos, I don't know. Maybe Jeezy got a hold of those. Of course, as a man that's married to a woman, I'm going to question, why are you holding on to these photos? And then on top of that, both of y'all are doing a show together. So you're a distance away from me, and you pretty much have man's dick pic in your phone. That is unacceptable. So I guess Jeannie Mae couldn't give a good explanation as why she has certain explicits, allegedly, of Mario Lopez in her phone. And on top of that, the way Jeannie Mae's mom came around young Jeezy's home and being very nosy to the point where the man can't even argue with his wife in peace. You have a mother-in-law and a brother-in-law. What is she gonna move in next? Her uncle? I do understand certain family tradition, folks. Don't get me wrong. I am from the Caribbean island of Jamaica. Some of us do move in our families in the house. But what I'm trying to say is that respect is due to the ones who we married to. We can't allow our parents to F up our marriages. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, folks, as you see, when young Jeezy dove into that marriage, it was a language barrier because Jeannie Mae, her mom, on the other side of her family, is like coming to America but don't learn the language. They still speak fluently Vietnamese. And if I'm going to move an in-law into my house, plus brother-in-law, and all you guys speak around the house is Vietnamese, and I'm in America where I speak English, and I don't understand what you guys are talking about, eventually, I'm going to think you're talking about me because I can't comprehend what you guys are saying. And you're doing it spitefully, purposefully. Because it happens also in the Spanish community. Sometimes you go to the store and you talk to somebody in English, ask certain questions, then she turn away to her workmate and start talking about you in Spanish. That is so rude. That is so rude. So I do understand what young Jeezy have to go through when it comes on to the cultural barrier with the food, the language, the behavior, and all that stuff. And Jeannie Mae have a very nasty attitude that she developed from her mother. No wonder her mother is single. I remember Jeannie Mae, she was doing one of her YouTube Live or maybe recorded. She took her daughter to the pediatrician. The pediatrician was doing a demonstration. Then here comes Jeannie Mae's mother with a rude behavior, asking the pediatrician if she was a mind reader. Now, Jeannie Mae's mom could barely speak English, much less to have a PhD. Asking someone with a PhD if she was a mind reader. Guys, if you think I'm BSing, go look it up. You'll see for yourself. And then you'll understand where this young lady got her behavior from. In ancient days, they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And pretty much what I saw from Jeannie Mae and her mom is exactly what the phrase says. Folks, when you go to a country and you're very stubborn to learn the language, that's to show something about you as a person. Jeannie Mae's mom lived in America for a very long time, and she could barely speak English. Jeannie Mae speaks fluent English, and the rest of her family could barely speak English. And you know why? It's because of when they're around their surrounding, all they speak is their native language. So they never allow themselves to learn the language in the country that they reside. Now, if you're going to migrate yourself to another country, the proper thing to do is learn the language at least. But just to show the disrespect, how these people looked upon us, the disrespect they showed people of color when they come here, when they used to live in the woods in Cambodia, Malaysia, and all these other places in Asia, where they eat all these type of amphibians, snakes, lizards, gators, everything. Survival. And when they come to America, you look down upon people of color. But maybe, just maybe, that's what they saw on their television in their country. Because we have to understand, in our country, we have our own that are very ruthless towards us. So there's maybe that's what was marketed to them in their country. It's called mind control. And then they migrate to America with the same syndrome. Just maybe. But Jeannie Mae, your mom and you, your behaviors, very nasty. You said you haven't spoke to your mom, Jeannie Mae, for over 8 years. And I could see the reason why when I watch your podcast. You guys talk over each other. You guys show no respect for each other. I look at your body language, and I could just tell, in a quick summary, the type of people you guys are. So young Jeezy didn't really do his homework, which it happens. No fault of his. Sometimes it happens because it's hard to do your homework on every woman. That would take a lot of time. But young Jeezy didn't do his homework on Jeannie Mae. As he would have saw what a lot of people saw in Jeannie Mae from back then, in the real and where other people were talking. Yeah, I see where Tamar Braxton cut her off a couple of times when she tried to be disrespectful, and other people on the reel as well had to check her when she's being disrespectful. So nevertheless, to say this woman have a serious attitude problem that she developed from her mama. Let's be clear. And if she can't control it, it's going to cost her. Just like it's costing her now with Jeezy when it relates to her marriage, which is pretty sad. Pretty sad. Take a listen, folks.
Number one is another woman pushing him to do it, okay? Or number two is something real foul went down.
I know. Come thank you, right?
Thank you.
Come and I also know.
Two reasons why a man leaves his wife or files for divorce. Number one is another woman pushing him to do it, okay? Or number two is something real foul went down.
I know. Come thank you, right?
Thank you.
Come and I also know. And you win. That's I love you.
He's a flirt.
That's like.
Number one, a woman pushing him to do it. So far, we haven't seen no proof of that. But it's alleged that Jeannie Mae have photographs of where she collect and having her phone. Hey, what's going on, my friends? Yeah. You know, and having her phone of Mario Lopez. Then if you're a married woman, Jeannie Mae, with a young child and a young marriage, what are you doing with another man's erotic photos in your phone? Doesn't make any sense. If you're loyal to this man, why are you having other men's photograph in erotic positions in your phone? Absolutely, Pat, it's not right. I agree with you, Pat. It's not right. But it's the disrespect of these women today, the Western way of living, the Western way of obeying your husband and your family. It's so pathetic. Because all it does is leading people down to be single mothers and fathers. But then you have to say to yourself, maybe it was orchestrated because the government gets paid off the top. When it comes down to child support, a lot of people don't think the government get their money out of child support. For example, if I'm a husband and I'm paying $200 for child support, it might be $200 going to my ex-wife, but the government is getting their money off it somehow. It's just the way it is. And I think if we learn how to live with unity in our families, we could eradicate some of these behaviors and allow families to be families again. Because a lot of women, men as well, are being drifted by social media. When I say drifted, I mean drifted from their families. drifted from their families, male and female, has been drifted from their families because of social media. Drifted. What about the kids? What about the wife? What about the mortgage? His only concern is about the woman on Instagram and how she looks. That's what they're selling today. And that's why you see marriages aren't lasting like they used to. That's why you see people don't take marriages serious like they used to. Because society already taught them, I could find another you. What does that mean? You could find another me? It's only one me. What do you mean that you could find another you? It's only one me. You could find a replica, but it's not going to act like me, for sure, in every which way. The same way they're trying to force AI down our throat on a marketing perspective. You could replicate, but you can't be me. And you will never be me. So folks, I conclude by saying, I think people need to start looking at their marriages more seriously. Look at the values, what you have in your marriage, what really matters. Not what people think or what your friends are saying or what's on social media. It's about the value that you have within your family. And use that as leverage and see if you could have a better outcome. Because I'm so tired of seeing people today that been to the altar 2 or 3 years ago, suddenly, abruptly, getting divorced. Young Jeezy, my heart goes out to you and your family. Man, I haven't even talked about Steve Harvey, Marjorie Harvey, Cheryl Strawberry, and nasty Ernesto Williams. Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union. Now Dwayne Wade is saying he had sat down and spoke to Gabby about his outside child. That's a different topic. Steve Harvey denouncing Big Boom. That's a different topic. Remy Ma deceive Papoose. That's a different topic. Let's see. It's so much going on out there, folks. I could go on and on. But I'm glad you were here with me for the 30 minutes of kicking it free with chronic pain to inner demon. I want you to like. I also want you to share as well as subscribe to the machine and tell a friend to tell a friend about this machine. Because we're growing and we're glowing and we ain't gonna stop and we're never gonna stop. One love to everyone. Peace on a Sunday.